Now we are live. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rare occasion, 2 times a week, but we're getting back into the usual schedule of things. Try to at least.
At least twice. We're going to be random twice a week. We don't know the days
Maybe
yet.
3 times a week. No, I'm joking.
No,
Maybe. Who
no, no.
knows? So,
Uh,
anyway, what should we talk about? So today we're going to talk about the Young Thug RICO trial, basically, and we're kind of diving into this a little bit. I started listening to this case about yesterday, and I was like kind of intrigued. I mean, just randomly it was recommended to me on YouTube. I get this kind of discussing of this trial and how long this has been going on, and now it's like day 3 of the trial. And the gist of it is that a young rapper was charged with a RICO, uh, based upon connections, based on social media, based on like people wearing a certain brand of clothes and stuff like that, and social media. Also, apparently, they've submitted into evidence his song lyrics as evidence of his guilt, which is very odd to me. And it's a lot of people are divided into this. A lot of people believe this is an attack on freedom of speech. A lot of people are, believe the prosecutor is overstepping. There was already in the beginning of the trial, well, not even the trial, like basically the opening statements of the prosecution, almost a mistrial within 10 minutes of it. So it's becoming a very, very polarizing case, and I think it would be pretty interesting just to have a discussion and talk about. So if you don't know who Young Rapper is, this Young Thug, um, that's his rapper name. Basically, he is. I'm reading from the Wikipedia article, so
you want me to
whatever.
share? You want to share the screen
I'll share
or
my screen. Why not? So people have a general idea.
everybody loves visuals.
But anyway, here's Young.
Thank
This
you.
is so basically born in. His name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams. Born 1991 in Atlanta, Georgia, the 10th of 11 children. He is from Sullivan Hills, a neighborhood in Atlanta, Zone 3, and grew up in the Jonesboro South Projects. Other rappers from the neighborhood include Waka Flocka Flame, Ludacris, and Williams' childhood friend Pee Wee Longway, from whom Williams lived 4 doors down. Williams has told interviewers that he was expelled in the 6th grade for breaking teacher's arm, and he was sent to juvenile prison for 4 years. So, obviously a rough early life. He goes on to basically begins his career in 2010. As you can see, his appearances, debuting as a guest appearance in the rapper True Royal songs She Can Go, after releasing first 3 installments of the mixtape series. And he goes on, you see like multiple, he has a long career, a long career of music, rising popularity. And then what goes into, which is pretty interesting, 2015, 2016 Barton 6 and Slime Season series. So you're going to basically wonder why I'm bringing up Slime series, and it's going to be brought up in the court a little bit. So in 2015, a series of data breaches leaked hundreds of unreleased tracks from Young Thug's archives to the internet. Young Thug's planned debut album was set for release in 2015 and was said to be named Cardi 6 in homage to Lil Wayne's upcoming album, The Cardi V. Lil Wayne, however, wasn't happy about the tribute, telling the audience of the show in April of 2015 to stop listening to Young Thug after claiming he's been threatening with lawsuits. Young Thug announced that he was changing the title to Barter 6 and classified that it would be a mixtape rather than his debut album. Young Thug announced in April 18, 2015 that his official debut album will be titled, I can't even say it.
I can't even read it. Where is it?
It says iTunes. Okay. iTunes. Okay. It
Okay.
was like a little bit weird. In 2015, after much confusion as to who he was signed to, he managed to having been aligned with Gucci Mane, 1017 Records, Future Freebase, and Laurel Cohen's 300 Entertainment, Birdman Rich Gang. Young Thug revealed, quote, I manage myself. I'm signed with Atlantic, and I have a big special deal with Atlantic. And it's only Atlantic. Birdman is my homie. He revealed he would be releasing another mixtape prior to the album entitled The Cardi V. To circumvent their further spread of the leaked tracks, Thug released the well-received compilation mixtape Slime Season. The Slime Season 2, Young Thug revealed in his late June 2015 that he and Kanye West have said Kanye was impressed, discussed the prospect of a joint album together, with both agreeing after meeting the spring details are still scarce, but Thug, I'm going to read that over. I fucked that up. Sorry about that, guys. Young Thug revealed in late 2015 that he and Kanye West have discussed and said Kanye was impressed after previewing his unreleased music. Quote, I was letting him hear all the music, and then he said I was like Bob Marlowe, and he wanted to do an album with me, and I was like, quote, let's roll, the rapper said. Young Thug appeared on West's 2016 album, The Life of Pablo, and West tweeted. So, in July 2015, 300 Entertainment released a promotional signal pacifier in support of Young Thug's debut album, High Tunes, and you see that he's successful. He collaborates with Jeffrey Collaboration, Much Fun, Slime and B, President Punk Business, and so forth, right? So he's successful. Now, when I mentioned Young Slime, like the slime thing, it's because that's named in the case. And let's go to the next thing. Let me stop that share there. So let me drop that. One moment. Let's go to here. I'll share my screen. So this is from Crime and just share the screen. This is from Crime and Law Network. Obviously, everyone's familiar with that. When you're ready, I'll hit the play.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Cool. So this is Young Thug.
He kind of looks like Lil Wayne.
Yeah, a little bit.
Originally 28 other defendants, although that number has been whittled down to Atlanta, Georgia. The rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, is facing 8 criminal counts, including conspiracy to violate the state's RICO or racketeering law. Essentially, he and what was originally 28 other defendants, although that number has been whittled down to, I believe, 14 now. I'll explain why in a minute. They were all charged in this large, sweeping indictment. The claim is that Williams co-founded a street gang called YSL, or Young Slime Life, back in 2012 that
See what I mean? Like Young Slime Life.
Okay, so they think that's a gang.
Yeah, he found that and just continued. So that's why it's important that I read that part, because he created this Young Slime Life, and now they're using it as evidence in his case. Sorry, it was a little mixed up in the beginning. A little off.
It reminds me of Eminem with G Unit when G Unit came up.
Okay.
Absolutely wreaked havoc on the city. Now, we have people charged with everything from attempted armed robbery to murder. There is a lot to unpack. There is a lot to understand, and there's a lot to break down in terms of what this case is, what has already happened. So to help me, I want to bring in a very special guest, somebody who has been following this case very closely, someone who the Twitter community has now dubbed Young Russ, Law and Crime Network's executive producer, Kathy Russin. Kathy, great to have you here. I'm not going to call you Young Russ, even though I do like that name for you.
I mean, who would have ever?
That's pretty lame, but okay.
Yeah, carry on.
How far you've come. How far you've come. So I think it's good to start with giving, I gave a brief synopsis of what this case is about, but can you tell us, basically, generally speaking, what is the allegation against these defendants, and specifically Young Thug?
For Young Thug himself, not only participation in a criminal street gang, but being a leader / founder / in the management part of the street gang to further crimes as in murder, a sweeping indictment, basically, to get all of these members of YSL, or at least 28 of them, charged with various crimes, and Jeffrey Williams is kind of the lead and the head of that. And so his charges really have to do.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, so that's pretty interesting that basically he creates this kind of, like, they're trying to charge him for lyrics and all these other people. It's just kind of like a slippery slope a little bit so far. Hi, Suthin. What do you think, Tony?
I feel like history is repeating itself. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And people who like rap and have liked, especially early 2000s rap, when it was like fucking gold. Like, I think he was trying. I don't know what this kid was doing, but it reminds me of when Eminem came out with G Unit, and then G Unit, everybody dubbed them as a gang. But it was just a fucking band. Do you
Yeah,
get what I'm saying?
I also think it's going to be pretty tough for a jury to be convinced about the connections between all these people and how this guy runs the criminal syndicate, and then try to separate that from his music career of rapping and, you know, basically just showing off to actually running an actual gang.
Oh, they think he's the future Suge Knight. I see what they're doing.
Pretty much.
With furthering the criminal activity, like promoting it, that kind of thing.
Are you tired of all the
Okay, and if you're not sure
Okay.
what YSO is, so Young Slime Life, by the way. So that's his gang, apparently.
Allegedly, we don't.
Yeah, well,
know.
yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the guy's not going to sue us, so don't worry. So, but that's what the prosecution is claiming, that, you know, this is a gang and he's running it and whatever.
it's been what, that this is not a street gang at all?
So he claims this is not a gang, that he's a musician, is an artist, and Young Slime Life is not Young Slime Life, and that he has a record deal and he's not a member of a gang. The problem is, as we'll get into, he's got some of his closest people that have said that it's a gang, and that has started happening in plea deals.
Defendant and his fellow YSL associates committed the drive-by shooting referenced in sections 3 and 4 above on behalf of YSL and to increase the notoriety, reputation, and fear of YSL.
Hey,
Number
Dad.
6, defendant admitted committing and was convicted of aggravated assault and participation in criminal street gang activity.
Okay, so there was violence. on
Well, these are
behalf-
all these guys have all these other unrelated parties, because if you look at the actual conspiracy, there's all these other related parties, and they're trying to connect it to him. Now, let me just stop my screen here, and I'll just show you what
Okay.
the website for Young Slime. I'm gonna keep on saying slime. Okay, so
Yeah, happy Friday. It
happy
is
Friday. Let me see. Let me just show you one moment. Okay. So this is from like Young Stoner Life Records, right? And they're claiming that this is Young Slime Life, whatnot. And this is like,
So wait, is it Young Slime Life or is it Young Stoner Life?
yeah, well, that's what the jury, that's what they're claiming, like Young Slime Family.
Okay, I see the slime family right there.
Yeah, you see?
Gangs
And then-
normally don't have websites.
They don't normally have websites in which they take a portrait together.
I mean, I do not believe in gang activity whatsoever. It's no, but
Here's
from my life, I can promise you, the Bloods
Here-
don't have a website.
here,
That's like
here's like the next gang affiliation. This is are you a member of the biggest family
hey man, welcome to the show.
in the world? Young Stoner Life Records isn't just
Yeah,
a label, it's a family. Take the slime family test,
Yeah.
and you can discover. I mean, I'm kind of afraid to take this test because I don't want to be charged with being part of this gang as well.
See, that's the well, I think he's treating it like how all musicians treat their fans. Like Lady Gaga calls her fans little monsters
Yeah.
and stuff like. I think it's like that because
Okay,
gangs
so this
don't
is-
have websites.
Yeah, this is Young Thug's website. These are all the people under his
Nobody
label.
I fucking know. Yeah,
I mean,
mumbo rappers.
it's I'm starting to. I mean, and they're trying to convince people that this man is running a gang based upon social media posts and rap songs and confessions from people who are getting like sweetheart deals
Hey, grandma.
to throw
Yeah.
him under the bus. So that's kind of interesting. So let's continue on. So I just want to give you an idea. Like that's pretty.
Is that what they do
interesting.
now? Do gangs make web? Like I'm still stuck on. I don't. I think it's very counterproductive. But yeah, please,
Hi,
if you're in a
Jen. Hi,
gang,
Denise.
don't make a website.
Apparently, don't make a website and make songs about it. Why not? So here's the website. Here's the thing. Again, we'll go with the video. Okay, we'll continue on with law and crime.
Activity, among other charges, for his participation in the drive-by shooting referenced in sections 3, 4, and 5 above. Number 7, defendant was told by another YSL associate that immediately after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., YSL associates met at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia, to discuss the murder. Number 8, defendant personally knows that one or more YSL associates committed the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. on behalf of YSL. Number 9, on January the 10th, 2015, after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., defendant and other YSL associates gathered at the home of Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, who gave defendant and other YSL associates cash money to lay low.
Kathy, who is this Sledge individual, and why is he so important?
Well, he's going to testify. Now, in some of these plea deals, some of the defendants have been given the right to invoke the Fifth, and some have not, which is very interesting. He does not have the right to invoke the Fifth on any statements he signed off on his plea deal. Well, those include that after drive-by shootings, they went to Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug's home, who gave them cash money to lay low. That's not a good fact for Jeffrey Williams. He's going to testify to drive-by shootings, to murders. After the murder of rival gang member Antonio,
Donovan Thomas.
Thank you so much. After the murder of rival gang member Donovan Thomas.
That's not reliable.
Yeah, like that's going to be something that's going to go to the credibility of like anytime someone who's like a criminal who's getting sweetheart deals, you know, you're gonna question the honesty of his statements, you know.
Yeah.
And just because a rapper gives a guy a bunch of money doesn't mean it's lie down money. It's open to interpretation. He could have gave him money because, oh, well, I really like you, man. Here's $10,000. Here's $15,000. They have to actually get evidence to connect.
Oh yeah, they do.
What
I mean,
they
look
use
at
the money for. Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking about.
Look at how long they did it with the investigation they're doing with Tupac. Apparently, P. Diddy gave some rando money, $1 million, to take out Tupac. We're still investigating it. We'll never know.
Yeah.
To Young Thug's house. So he's very crucial to the prosecution's case of tying. Look, let's just be honest. They want Jeffrey Williams. The state wants Jeffrey Williams. That's where they're making deals with other people. They want the head. They want the lead. And they
What
want
does it
him.
say?
And so
Pause it. Are those fucking Chanel glasses?
Yes, those are Chanel glasses.
You make millions of dollars and you bought those, stupid. Okay, go ahead.
I'm
I'm sorry.
Glad you're not on the fucking jury. Jesus.
I
Christ.
mean, but sometimes
throw this man
you know,
in jail because
there's a
of
lot
his
of talent.
glasses.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of talented people out there that make a lot of good money that they self-earn, and then they buy. What the fuck are those? Those look like portholes on a submarine.
Oh my God, Tony's not definitely fucking should not be on this jury.
Those are Chanel.
Sledge is going to testify, and it's not going to be good facts for Jeffrey Williams.
Yeah, so he got 15 years probation. People might be looking at that and saying it's so lenient.
So the guy who committed drive-by shooting got 15 years probation.
Wait, what? No, you take somebody's life. I want a life in return.
Wait, and we're gonna believe this guy's gonna be like 100% honest? Like that's a sweetheart deal as I ever heard one.
I was about to say, like, this is not going. This is no. See, this red flags fucking everywhere.
Like, how is that not going to be questioned by like the defense being like, "Whoa, you got
these seem like smart people." I'm not going to discredit the lawyers here or the people doing the investigation, please. But when I say this, as somebody with an 8th grade education, gangs don't have websites. They don't have websites.
Oh, maybe they will after this case.
Oh God,
maybe we'll have like join the Bloods, and you have like an entire like a website showing the benefits and like the places that
you have the game right in the front, like the game and Jim Jones singing the song or something.
You'll put the GPS activation on your cell phone, so like just in case you enter into another gang territory, it alerts you like a beeping alert, like.
Don't give them ideas. What the fuck?
Like Crips territory. Get out. Get there.
Right?
Get out. Get
right?
out. I don't know.
That would be hilarious, though.
That, like you said, they need several of these members to testify against the head of this organization, the alleged head, or it could also be that the case they have against some of these members might not be as strong as they need it to be. And if you charge you charge 28 people and the cases are weak against some and strong against others, the whole case could fall apart. We've seen that happen before. Now that's a possibility. Let's go to Antonio Sumlin. What do we know about him?
Yes.
Do you understand that you are not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you are not a United States citizen? A guilty conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at a trial would, and that this is true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Oh, yes,
Wait,
ma'am.
wait. Pause
So
it.
what do we know about Antonio Sumlin?
Basically, he was saying like he gets deported.
Oh,
If
he's not American? He's not from America?
I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So Antonio Sumlin, aka Obama, is his street.
What?
This
Son.
man's name is Obama. His street
Mijo.
name's Obama.
Oh, Carino. Oh God, just,
Oh no.
I can't with these, I can't.
Oh no.
Game. He takes a plea. Also, is only just sentenced to probation. A lot of people are talking about these sweet deals. These guys are walking.
He
out.
was sentenced to probation?
Wait, both of them were? The first guy that we saw.
Yeah,
that
he got probation. The other guy got probation.
and he was this guy with the dreads. He was the one that was in the car as well for the same killing, right?
I don't know. I gotta look it up.
You don't know? Okay. Because
could it be a sweet deal? Maybe. Can members of this alleged gang stay clean for 15 years and not violate probation? 15 years is a long time. So I see talk about that also on social media sites that it could be prosecutors think that they're going to end up back behind bars at some point anyway. So Sumlin pleaded guilty to the RICO Act, which all of them are charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to.
Okay, so we're gonna hear what his charges are here. He pleaded guilty to the RICO Act.
Okay.
Which I think is the most fucked up law
this
ever.
guy pleaded to the RICO Act, right?
Yeah, let's listen to it.
Pleaded guilty to the RICO Act, which all of them are charged with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit a crime and participation in a street gang, and he also will testify. Now, these ones that, again, like I said, the ones that will testify. Yeah, I have to just say this: the prosecutor words this very interesting when she reads out the plea deal. It's if you are called to testify at any time. I will say that we don't have any guarantees that every single one of these people that took a plea will be called to testify. And we do know that some probably won't, because at least one has been given the right to invoke the fifth, as far as I could tell, on everything.
Right.
Wow.
So there's Quantavious Squire, who I believe is the brother of Young Thug.
I'm confused. Educate me here. If you're trying to get a plea deal to get out of jail or get out sooner or whatever, you can't plead the fifth, can you?
Yeah,
Like that's counterproductive. You're not giving me something to give you something, so therefore rot.
Hi, Blumpy.
You know?
Yeah, that's weird. That's very weird.
He pleaded guilty last week. He was sentenced to a mix of time served and probation.
They're so young too.
I think it's part of his deal that if he's called to testify, he has to testify truthfully, but it is his right to invoke his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. So he can do that if he wants to. Not an option for some other defendants.
The difference in his wording is like what you just said. That for some of these others, they cannot. The wording was they cannot invoke the Fifth on any statements in this plea deal. So they have written out statements that they've initialed, so typed out statements, whatever. The prosecutors have them initial. They have to testify truthfully to those and are not allowed to invoke the Fifth.
And then we have Trontavious Stevens.
You also acknowledged that on February 4th, 2021, you participated in a group chat with fellow YSL founder Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, and YSL associates Wooney Lee, aka Slime Like Shorty, wherein Jeffrey Williams stated, "YSL rule the world, kid. Y'all just start bringing me the money. Man, y'all stop playing with me." Do you acknowledge that?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How is that like incriminating evidence that he's in a fucking gang and he's running a criminal organization?
I don't know. I'm going with it. They have to have something besides these plead the fifth fucking sweet deals that they have. That apparently is a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
acknowledge that on May 13, 2021, you participated in another group chat with fellow YSL founder Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, and YSL associates Martinez Arnold, Miles Farley, Quantavious Greer, Antonio Sumlin, Wooney Lee, wherein Jeffrey Williams asked, "Y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet?" Then states, "Y'all getting soft."
Yeah. Well, that could be incriminating.
That's incriminating. That's incriminating. But I'm just gonna say this. I'm just they used okay, hold on. Let me get a grip on myself.
Hi, Wing Zero.
I don't know if I'm upset or if it's funny. This is the reason. Not only does their gang just say this is real. Not only does their gang have a website to introduce everybody so you know who to call, right?
They have a group chat.
They have a group fucking chat as well. And it's on a cell phone too, because if it was like What's Up app or some kick shit, like that's one thing. But no, they have a group chat on their phone.
Kind of reminds me of like what was it? What was that TV show on The Wire? And like they're in this gang meeting, and like one of the gangsters want to take like notes, and he's like, "You want to take notes in a criminal enterprise?"
This you said it perfectly. This is like The Wire, but for this new generation. So it's gonna be stupid.
Yeah, like they're on group chats. They got a website. It's so weird. One's a rapper. It's like, geez,
No.
Louise. And I'm still not sure if like he's innocent or guilty. But so far, it's kind of weird. So
It's looking bad. That text message, like, what, you didn't do something yet? Y'all getting soft? That is incriminating.
and he's like saying like, listen, man, the peace sign I was making wasn't like the gang sign. It was positivity or something. I don't know. His we're gonna watch his defense attorney basically what he
Good
explains it,
Lord.
and he also says thug means truly humble under God. It's not that it's not a bad thing, guys. It means truly humble under God.
I kind of want to say that's really what it means.
That seems good. I'm using that from now on. Anyone calls me B Thug, I'm saying I'm truly humbled under God. Don't you?
Like,
it's not
if
a
you
bad
say
thing.
that, can you think of Tupac saying that? That's what I'm thinking. I was like, Tupac would say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Trontavious Stevens seems very important for this case.
There's a problem. They have group chats. They have group chats that
Thank
Jeffrey
you.
Williams is in, saying things like, "You haven't shot him yet. You all are getting soft." That's what I guess people would call receipts. The prosecutor has receipts in this case where they have put things in writing. Here's another thing about Stevens, his AKA Tick. He goes by Tick or Slug. There's a song.
God.
Jeffrey Williams has a song called "You," but it's EWE, I believe. And
Ewu. Oh my God.
EWE. What's
Ewu.
that?
Ewu.
What's Ewu?
It's not even a word. It's an emoji. It's that anime emoji, like Ewu. Like nah. That don't make me embarrass myself, B. You know what it is.
Talks about robbing a woman or women. And in the plea deal, the prosecutor has him acknowledge that he has been accused of and are charged of robbing women in the past.
So basically the prosecution, that's why they admitted the song lyrics as evidence, because some of the song lyrics reflects what some of the gang members have did as criminal acts. So
but you can say that about anybody since the birth of the Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, even the mafioso.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's the whole basis of their case, that this guy is running this criminal organization, and then he makes songs about the crimes that his criminal organization commits to his world fame for his rap song.
I'm gonna say this right now, Tim. He made a website for his gang, and he had a group chat. So if he's writing about the crimes that he's doing now, I'm gonna say, well, yeah, I can see the pattern now.
I mean, if this is true, this is pretty wild.
If it's true, mind you, this is all alleged. This is still a trial.
Yeah,
and
it's still going.
Not
We're
looking
only
very
day
good.
3. There's only day 3 of this trial. It took them a year to pick a jury, because there was so many shenanigans going on, and it's just started.
It's important because prosecutor wants to bring in song lyrics. The song lyrics that Young Thug has used. This is a big sticking point, and it's still an outstanding motion by the defense that has not been solved yet, because they went to argue this motion last week, and as a side note, there was a COVID outbreak in the jail where all these guys are, and a bunch of them are COVID positive and or in quarantine. So because of that, they couldn't have this hearing on the motion. Song lyrics, can they use song? Is song lyrics real life?
It's brought in,
or is it just artistry? And but they are tying this specific one with Tick to the song lyrics about at least committing a crime of robbing women.
Yeah, even people in the hip hop community have been very against using rap lyrics in criminal cases. But Fannie Willis, who is the district attorney for Fulton County, Georgia, says if you decide to admit your crimes over a beat, I'm going to use it. Let's move on. I want to go to another important individual in this case who.
Yeah, he sounded pretty lame.
Yeah, that was. Don't do that again, dude.
Sarah, just stick to your lane. I mean, you don't see me trying to.
Is his name Jesse? His name Jesse Stop.
I don't know what his name is. I forgot. Jesse Weber. Okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
And just to give everybody an idea, Martinez, Little Duke Arnold, Woney, Slime Life, Shawty Lee, and then Walter Murphy. They've all pleaded guilty, as we've been talking about people taking these deals. But now let's talk about fellow YSL rapper Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens. Kathy, he's...
Wait, I thought that was Antonio.
No.
And do you acknowledge...
It's another guy.
Okay.
I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
So he took it Alfred plea. He's probably the most famous next to Williams as being known. He took an Alford plea, which means that he does not admit to being guilty, but he admits there's enough evidence that a jury could find him guilty. That's basically what an Alford plea is.
Wait, yeah,
And
I know what an
he came
Alfred
out and
plea
said-
is.
Yeah, you got an Alfred plea.
We talked about that with the West Memphis 3. If anybody's
Yeah.
interested in that video.
I did not snitch. I will not snitch, and I will.
If you
not
want to explain it, maybe just do it quickly.
Alfred plea is basically when somebody admits, so how can I don't know if I can say it right. The only way I can express it is from the West Memphis 3, if anybody knows that case. They admitted that there is a crime that was done. They still remain their innocence, but they took the plea so they can get out of jail, and one guy was on death row. So the Alfred plea is basically saying, I know I didn't do this. I know this didn't happen, but I'm going to take this plea and admit to it and have it on my record for fucking life because I need to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah, basically, it's a plea. It's a plea of guilty, but It's protesting that you're innocent, basically.
Yeah.
It's very odd for that to be allowed.
It took the West Memphis 3 over almost 20 years to get it, and this guy gets it right away. I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, when you're sitting,
I don't know how it works.
not testify. In his plea, he does have the right to invoke the Fifth. So I would say it's likely he's not going to testify. However,
Oh God.
we have his statements made in court. They're recorded by WSB. I'm not sure he knew that was happening because there wasn't a traditional camera setup. It was sort of a last-minute hearing, and so the
What the fuck is
WSB
in his
recorder, I
hand?
believe, did it with his.
that seems to be some sort of poodle purse.
Is it wearing? I'm sorry. I know. I'm just so fascinated with.
Yes, it's wearing a suit. It's wearing
And
a
look
suit.
at that dashing man in the background. Put your mouse up. You see that man with the glasses and the long hair, and he's wears like the brown khaki suit. No, on the other side. Yeah, right
This?
there. That has my attention right now. But
He-
plus play.
I mean, he kind of looks like a homeless person, but okay. with
He
that.
got into the Met Gala apparently. I mean,
his cell phone,
fashion.
and you can find that on YouTube on WSB. But it has him admitting to certain things, and this is what he's admitting. He acknowledges that YSL is a gang. Number one, important.
Is a what?
He
A
acknowledges
gang.
that some members of the
Okay.
gang have committed crimes.
Okay.
And in his statement, I quote, he says, I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL, the gang, to the detriment of my community. YSL is a gang and must end. That is a statement from Gunna that he signed off on. I think he didn't know that recording had happened when he made statements. I don't know, but I think it's pretty evident that I don't know how Jeffrey Williams can claim YSL is not a gang when now we have multiple members of YSL that are close to him saying it's a gang.
Real quick, Kathy, what's the value of him if he's not forced to testify? I mean, I think the case against him might have been weak. That's what I think.
Correct. He only had the one count, the RICO count. So that's the top count. The RICO count's the top count. All 28 are charged with that. There are some that are only charged with that and nothing else, and Gunna was one of them. And so it must have been a weak case against him.
Yeah, it sounds like a weak case that they let him go through there. It's kind of interesting.
Wait,
Now,
you mean
talking
like a weak case, like he could walk out?
Yeah, like they didn't have enough to stick on him for the
Yeah.
RICO.
Okay.
Deals. We saw at least one person being offered what seemed like a really good deal and turned it down. I'm talking about Tanquarius Mender, aka Nard. What can you tell us about what deal was offered to him and this rejection?
And I'm sure that Ms. Fagan, she's a very fine attorney. Seen her work. But trials, there's one thing about trials, it's uncertainty. You don't know what's gonna happen. So you gotta beat 4 counts. If you don't beat them, what will happen is, under this A&C recidivist statute, I have to, under the law, sentence you to the maximum sentence. And then whatever I sentence you to, you serve to the door. That's not anything I have any discretion over. It's not anything because I don't like you or because of what you're being charged with, whatever. Those have nothing to do with anything. That's what the state of Georgia, the legislature has mandated that I sentence you to. So one of the things a plea does is you know what you're getting. It caps your exposure. So, and what the state's telling you today is if you take the plea today, this is what you're going to get. And this is what I probably sentence you to. And you're done. You got to decide that for yourself. You can't be worried about any of these other folks that are attached to this indictment.
The
Amen.
last name
Good
came out
judge.
from trial
Good
hearing last
judge.
week. The prosecutor stood up and said she has 3 more
Yeah.
plea offers on the table. One was to Tanquarius Mender, aka Nard, aka Stunna. He is facing a maximum of 50 years.
By the way, that's not how you're
That's
supposed to
not-
wear
I
a
was-
mask.
I
That
was
makes
about
it
to say
useless.
that. I was about to say that.
You might as well take off your mask at that point.
Yeah, you are in
50
court,
years in
son.
prison. His offer was leave today. 16 years to serve 1 year, which be commuted. So he would have 15 years on probation and could walk out He would not take the deal, and the judge sounded shocked.
Why do you think he turned it down?
I don't know. I mean, I think
So, good deals going on here. I mean, everyone's getting probation. Like, whoa.
people are shocked that some of these guys have taken a plea. I don't know if the whole, snitches get stitches thing.
That's
members of the
very
gang
much
don't turn on
real.
each other. They don't
Yeah.
talk. I don't know if he's standing strong in that.
Yeah, because I think that's why the judge said to him, you can't do it because of other people who are in this indictment. You have
Yeah.
to do what's right for you. And we know that Durante Bebby, I might be saying his name incorrectly, A.K. Bay, he faces a life sentence for his
Yeah.
crimes. And there was talk about whether or not,
Oh,
I mean, he seemed
no.
to still to reject the deal that was offered to him too, although
So
he's kind of on
fucking
the fence
young.
about it, right?
So he rejected. Okay, let me just tell you that I'm not going to say we know 100% sure about Bebe or about Mender,
Mhm.
because this is what we know. The prosecutor said she has 3 plea offers. She said they expire at the end of business today. She was very clear about that. The judge had all 3 of these guys go back and talk, and there was like a 2-hour delay or something in the hearing. At the end of the day, they came back on the record and only handled the 1 plea deal. So that's it. We never heard another word about Bebe or Mender. So we have to assume they rejected it because it was off the table at end of business.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of these guys have gotten interesting plea deals. So eventually the trial goes on. There's a
It's sad though. Like jokes aside, everything aside, these are young men who have
okay, so this
talent,
is
and it's
the
just sad.
the lawyer, of course, most of you people know, he
Oh.
basically commented on the first day. But let me read an article first. So let me see. So the article I am reading from,
Is he kind of like Legal Eagle?
yeah, he's kind of like Illegal Eagle, and every one of all the women love him, basically. You'll see why.
Oh God.
This is why.
I don't. That's not a flattering.
I'm sure. Okay, that's better.
Rico Suave. I see
Rico
it.
Suave. So basically, that's why a lot of women in the true crime community basically love him.
I mean, you got to work with it. I mean, go for it.
I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard on the panel the lawyer you want to know from women. Ugh, jeez
Good
Louise.
Lord.
So I'm reading Vulture, this article called Vulture. It says, a month after a young thug found himself embroiled in his spiraling RICO case, he made a plea from jail. This isn't about just me or YSL, he said, pre-recorded address screened at Hot 97 Summer Jam in June 2022. Quote, I always use my music as a form of artistic expression, and I see now that the black artists and rappers don't have that freedom. Everybody please sign the Protect Black Art petition and keep praying for us. I love you all. And he concluded the petition in the Protect Black Art is a document co-written by 300 Entertainment co-founder and CEO Kevin Liles, who first signed Thug and helped get his label YSL off the ground as a subsidiary company in Atlantic Records. COO Julie Greenwald. The document asks both federal and state legislation to adopt bills that limit the use of rap lyrics as evidence in court of law. The rapper's plea arrived on the heels of a sprawling 56-count RICO case against the Thug Gunna and 26 members of his Young Stoner Life collective. After 567 days in jail for he was denied bail. Young Thug, the trial against him finally began November 27th. With the opening argument, the trial will be live streamed on YouTube, Law and Crime Network. And, so that's where you get it. The 88-page grand jury indictment characterizes YSL Young Slime Life as a criminal street gang and alleges that 182 instances of collective participating in the gang activity and criminal conspiracies, citing lyrics, social media posts, and clothing or accessories with slime emblazoned on them as evidence. So like they're saying that's like a gang sign.
Gang sign. Yeah.
Okay. So Atlanta Fulton County grand jury charged some individuals with violent crimes that include attempted armed robbery and murder. And not only has the case arrived under the specter of a 60% rise in violent crime in Atlanta, which Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis has promised to fight, but it has reverberated throughout the hip-hop community, where many have argued that this trial is but the latest instance of criminal justice system unfairly tying rappers to violent crimes through their art. A little over 7 months after his arrest in May, Gunner walked free on December 14, 2022, after both he and Young Thug were denied bail multiple times. The rapper pleaded guilty to a charge of racketeer conspiracy in what he is known as the Alfred plea, which we heard previously, a deal that allows him to plead guilty if it's in his interest while maintaining his innocence. His 5-year sentence was commuted to time served and 500 hours of community service as part of a deal. Days later, 7 other defendants took pleas, which we heard in the previous video, and were released from jail just ahead of the New Year. As of November, many of the original defendants had their cases separated from trial, and 4 did not have legal representation. That's interesting. And 2 had not been arrested by early January. Right now, Young Thug is one of 6 defendants set to stand trial, which the trial has started on the 27th, so it's kind of interesting. Through there was a possibility Young Thug could get out on bond. Judge Uriel Glansville denied the rapper bond for the 3rd time, citing the threat of witness intimidation, the threat of fleeing, and dangers to the community in the hearing on July 21st. The judge agreed to reconsider Yank Gotti's bond that same day. However, he was denied bond as well. In months prior, and I always find it very, I'm a little iffy with the whole denying bond thing because it's very tough to defend yourself behind bars. You know what I mean?
It is. I feel like the stories I hear in documentaries, it takes them 10 times longer to do something, to find information, to even get a new lawyer and stuff.
Yeah, and it's very tougher situation to do that, and you're very disadvantaged. Very disadvantaged. Fulton County, and obviously, I don't think. I mean, I understand they're worried about witness intimidation, but I don't know. I mean, usually the idea of bond, I always think of it as to stop you from running away. You know what I mean? And I don't think this guy's gonna run. So I mean, I'm a little split on that one. Fulton County prosecutor alleges co-defendant Khalif Adams attempted to hand the hot rapper a Percocet in open court on January 20th. The Grammy Award-winning artist's lawyers denies Young Thug's involvement in the alleged drug deal. As January came to a close, a YSL Mondo, a label co-founder, publicized this part relationship with the current district attorney. Willis, who served as his defense lawyer during 2019 aggravated assault trial and helped keep him out of jail. With the trial underway, the prosecutor Adrian Love quoting the Jungle Book in opening statements, where you compiled everything you need to know about the case. Okay, so we're going to watch this thing, and he's going to go through basically key points of the opening statement. And I think it's a pretty interesting video. Let me see. I want to go to this part here. And he's going to react to the current opening statement that is occurring. All right, so let's play it. When you're ready, I'm going to play it.
I'm good.
So she goes through and explains all the connections. The Raised in Cleveland or something becomes YSL Young Slime Life or something like that. I don't know what all of these acronyms stand for, but at the end of the day, they are all connected in this RICO racketeering activity, which is just criminal activity that they all conspire together to commit. And it includes all of the normal accusations you'd expect: theft, illicit drugs, hurting people, weapons, all together, all as members, some as leaders of this activity. And Young Thug is a famous rapper who is involved in all of this, and just one of the defendants who is on trial here.
Now, to me, with the text, I mean, my thought process with the whole text thing is that I feel like the RICO Act is just used to kind of when they don't have enough evidence to charge him individually as being part of the crimes. Because I would say the text. If you were to actually try him for being participant of that particular act in that text, I'm pretty sure he'd probably get out. I mean, he could easily say, I was just joking with them. I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? He could probably fight. So I feel like a lot of times the RICO Act is kind of used when they really don't have much on the leader of this organization.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, I mean, is it shocking that a bunch of people wear name brand clothing from a rapper?
That's the thing. Most rappers out there, I own a pair of G-Unit pants. I actually own 2.
Oh, you're part of the gang. You're in trouble.
I'm definitely.
Yeah, you're right. Also, White by Moves. It says bond also has to do with danger to community. I think you're absolutely correct, and that's why I think the main reason why the judge basically said, hey, you can't go out because you're going to threaten these witnesses, or you're going to, which I understand, but I also understand that it becomes very tough for an actual defendant to defend himself behind bars, no matter how much money you have. But I understand that thought process.
His lawyer's opening statement was all about how he grew up in a really tough life and how it was.
Yeah, his opening. I'm sorry, pause again.
Yeah.
I was watching the defense's opening statement. He actually did a very good job. The defense's opening statement. He was very much humanizing. Talked about his young life, about how poor he was. Basically humanized him. Used his real name. Proceeded to really paint the picture. I mean, he said, "Thug means truly humble under God," and he was trying to explain away the signs and everything. So I think he's really trying to make it look like, hey, this guy's not that bad, and he's from rags to riches, and he's helping his community by giving these guys jobs and stuff like that. So that's his kind of thing, I feel like. But her thing is, this is going to be very interesting, but we'll continue.
It was really hard for him to get here, and he knew that all he could really do to get out of the situation, he was very poor with like 10 brothers and sisters, and really the only way he could get out was to be a professional athlete or a musical artist, and he chose musical artist, and he tried really hard, and he got really good and ended up coming out. Then they tried to say things like thug to him means the acronym truly humbled under God was a quote, and some very
and I am so using that from now on. I'm telling you now, I am truly going to put that under my thing. I'm going to put thug truly humble under God from now on. So no one can accuse me of anything negative when they say thug. I'll be like, well, listen, I'm truly humble unto God.
You learned something today. You're going to use it.
I'm definitely going to use that.
Things that he felt he was pushing positivity with what he was doing. But on the other hand, of course, we have the prosecutor who went in on all of the things they were doing together that was criminal activity, why they need to be stopped. But then we have the first misstep just a few minutes into her opening statement. This is the prosecutor here. So let's take a listen to it together, see how the judge deals with it, and what we all think of it as a group.
And it was pretty shocking, actually. I've never seen this actually in the beginning of an opening statement. And all my times in watching actual trials, and I've watched a few, not a lot, a few, and I've never seen that.
The evidence will show that YSL checks all the boxes for being a criminal street gang. As I stated earlier, they are 3 or more people associated in facts. Their members commit crimes on behalf of the gang. They commit crimes such as armed robbery, hijacking, motor vehicle theft by receiving, stolen firearms, so many stolen firearms, possession of a machine gun, and narcotics sales, and last but certainly not least, murder. What you will not hear any evidence of is that the defendants were not involved in a criminal street gang.
So she says, what you will not hear is that the defendants were not involved in a criminal street gang.
And he's going to explain why this is important.
Any evidence that they did not commit crimes on behalf of YSL.
Because he's going to explain that she already made a misstep right here, and you're going to see something going on right now.
Okay.
You will not hear that they did not commit these crimes. So what does this sound like? Well, initially it sounds like burden shifting, like they're not going to put on the evidence, and because they're not going to put on any evidence, and they're not going to disprove this case, they're not going to prove they weren't in a gang, they're not going to prove they didn't do anything wrong. Now you're violating the defendant's rights. And you're saying they have a burden that they do not have in the United States. And of course, an objection comes because there are so many defense lawyers in the room.
And as I stated to you earlier, what I'm saying to you now is
let me object to that statement, please. As burden shifting basis. Burden shifting. And,
don't look shocked.
Yeah, she looked like she was hit, but yeah, she was burden shifting, and I've never really heard that term before until when I saw this, and I was like, whoa, and I was like, wow, it's pretty interesting.
277.
Why don't we take that up then?
All these people are lawyers, basically.
They're like, we all object.
We all object collectively on this shit. I kind of a little piece of me feels a little bad for the prosecutor because she's got one person helping her, and she's dealing with literally half the courtroom of a
And allegedly, let's be real too. Allegedly, one life was allegedly there's still a life lost in this whole entire thing.
Oh my God! It says great
So
now
it's so
your
sad.
birthday. White Boy Move says great now it's your birthday stuck in my head.
You know that song? Do you know that song?
I've heard of it.
The 50 Cent song.
We've heard of it. I plead the fifth.
Note your objection. I'm sustaining the objection. Why don't you rephrase that?
Sustain the objection. They move for mistrial so many times, all these lawyers, but that is a major misstep by the prosecutor.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that was
You
sustained.
can't be saying the defendant has to prove something.
Yes,
And she got away with it.
I'm gonna explain to you what I'm gonna
Yeah.
explain to
Yeah, he's just gonna basically like make clarifying statement, but it's basically a little bit too late now. I mean, fucking cat's out of the bag, and she still does other things. By the way, this is the least of the shit that she does in the opening statement.
you at the appropriate time, ladies and gentlemen, what the burden is in this case. Remember what I told you earlier, that the burden never shifts to the defendants to prove or certain innocence or presumed innocent, and it's only until you hear evidence that you decide is sufficient, and I'll instruct you on how you're supposed to do that at a later point in time. Okay? All right.
The evidence will show that YSL did not adhere and does not adhere.
Okay. So the judge has to step in, tries to give a curative instruction. Is that enough?
No.
I think that's pretty bad. But like I said, they've been picking a jury since January 1st. So they probably don't want to have to do all this again. But that's about as bad as you can do in an opening statement.
I
Yeah,
mean,
We're going to hear more about.
That's
And
pretty
it's a-
bad.
it's an opening statement too. Like you just started.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Oh, good Lord.
Maybe some of the problems is she wasn't prepared enough for this because the judge basically told them they had to turn over everything from both sides so they could review it, object to it if they want to. If there are any problems, they could discuss it, have a hearing on it. And she didn't even do that.
Oh,
At least
God.
completely. And she said she was still adding stuff last night.
So, I mean, you're supposed to exchange every single document you're about to use
Yeah.
in trial to
Yeah.
the other side so they can have time to object to it and understand what the hell you're putting in. And she's not even doing that. She's basically waiting like last night, adding shit. You know, BHB last like coffee hour type
Yeah.
of deal where she's like up at 4 a.m, submitting documents to the other side. And it's like, okay, it's just
I
fucking
can't
really
believe the
bad.
judge is humoring her then. It just.
Yeah.
It's a big trial, a long trial, a lot going on. You need to be more prepared than this. This is going to be problematic because there are some big time lawyers in the courtroom for this case. All right. I am going to jump forward now to where she violates a court order in conjunction with not turning over the demonstrative aids, meaning the pictures and the PowerPoint and all of that stuff. She didn't turn all that over to the defense, even though the court ordered them to do that, exchange all that from each other. So we're not wasting the jury's time and ticking the jury off because that hurts everybody. And so let's hear some of the arguments about that.
Jeffrey Williams.
That's pretty bad when you don't turn over. You break court order to not turn over documents during a RICO trial. Like, holy fuck, man.
You can't, no matter what trial it is, don't fucking half-ass it.
Yeah, like this is really bad.
It's horrible.
Stillwell, Diamante Kendrick, and their actions during the dates that are listed in this indictment are what we are asking that you pay close attention to and you
And it's like 10 plus years of dates and actions.
evaluate.
Right. You have an objection? Yes, sir. Basis.
A motion, he says, which is an indication, Judge, let's send the jury out for a second.
Yeah.
I can just remember. All right, please be seated. Our jury has left us.
And this judge is gonna get really fucking pissed. And let's just say that much.
What's your motion, sir?
And this is the famous rapper's lawyer.
Yeah, that's him.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Your Honor, last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, you ordered the parties to share all of their displays in opening statement to the others so we don't have to have these interruptions. I did that. The state shared with me 4 attachments. That's all they had. That's what I got. What you just saw on your screen, if you don't remember, I'll ask the state to put it up and I asked for it to be marked as exhibit, is what you already excluded. It states that Mr. Ryan was convicted of murder and I represent the co-defendant who's not on trial on the appeal. How did that not get sent to me so I could bring it to the Honorable Court's attention? 1.
So not only did she not send him all the
Whoa.
demonstrative aids and things that she's going to be using in opening, but she left his name in that he represents somebody that's already been convicted and that is up on appeal. Same lawyer that's sitting over there, the guy that says he's innocent. Well, this guilty guy already hired him and now he's representing this guy and he's guilty too. So the judge rightfully said, no, you can't put any of that information in. And guess what? Not only did she put his name in there that he does represent somebody convicted of murder and up on appeal, but she also didn't turn over that slide to give him the opportunity to object to it before he showed it to the jury, before she
Which is like a big motherfucking no-no. Like, that's really fucking bad. I
showed it to the jury. I mean, if that doesn't rise to the level of prosecutorial misconduct, I'm not sure what does. You violated a court order. You've severely prejudiced the defendant. And this all could have been avoided if you listened to what the court ordered you to do in turning over all this before presenting it to a jury.
Yeah.
And two, how do we just violate court orders? So yes, I have a serious motion for mistrial because it's intentional misconduct. That's my motion.
All right.
And I'd like the screenshot to be captured from Mr. Weaver to put in the record.
I'll admit it is next court exhibit in order of the state's presentation anyway. So, all right. So that'll be court one for purpose of the trial. So, Ms. Love, what's your response to Mr. Steele's assertion about Mr. Ryan?
As it relates to Mr. Ryan and the exhibits that the state intended to play and to display for the jury, I sent to Mr. Steele and everyone else the pictures and the photographs that I expected to use. As it relates to the slide to which Mr. Steele is now referring regarding his representation on appeal, I'm not certain if the objection goes to the fact that there was the conviction, because that's part of the indictment and that's part of the evidence that the state expects will show, or if it's as to his objection about the fact that he represents Mr. Ryan or Mr. Blaylock on appeal.
You don't represent Mr. Ryan.
Mr. Blaylock, man.
Excuse me. I've never said this ever. That's it.
So what's your objection based upon Mr. Steele?
He's like, I was never sent this on top of everything else.
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear that his main problem was he wasn't sent this originally, and there was a court order to present all present slideshows and stuff, and he was not sent it. And that the problem is that, because what happens is that number one, you see if it's admissible. Number two, and he explains it later on, that you basically, and this is how I got the idea about that, you if there's any errors, you correct them before it's shown to the jury, so it doesn't prejudice the jury. Yeah,
basically. This could be a acquittal, right?
Yeah.
If they keep fucking it. Well,
it is. It's pretty dirty. It's a pretty. Yeah, I agree with you, Blumpy. It's a pretty dirty trick that's going on here, and it's. It's very. That's why I thought this case was kind of interesting because.
But is it her against like 7 lawyers right now?
No, these guys over here are lawyers. This is a lawyer. 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 This is a lawyer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But are they're all his lawyers?
It seems like it.
Side. Like okay, so it's her against them, and they're not going to let her slip.
She's basically against half this courtroom.
Oof. And your opening statement, that's the thing. And then your opening statement, you put your foot in your mouth. You're a lawyer, honey. You know how to do this. Why are you doing it like this? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Getting the information wrong, and I was never sent this to have this argument before it was presented to the jury.
Judge Baseman, I argued this before this on the court. You argued the prosecution that before they ever mentioned my name, you granted this motion.
That I did.
You brought him up to this honorable court, outside the presence of anybody. You had an open statement. I am lied to. I am saying that I am lied to. Or anyone else got that exhibit? I did not get that exhibit. And I'm seeing everyone say shaking no. And now it goes against the court's word. You have found to be bound.
Oh, he pissed.
Going to join in the objection on behalf of Mr. Steele.
Let me see the.
I can put it back up.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, while I am putting that back up, I will state in my place that initially when there was the objection from Mr. Steele, I didn't have a clue what it was about because I didn't mention it for the most part.
But I mentioned that as it came.
And Your Honor, as to Mr. Steele's motion, as I'm pulling this up, the state would vehemently object to a mistrial and ask that.
Yeah, obviously they object to a mistrial. We
thing that rises to the level of mandating.
The motion for mistrial.
So there it is. Assault, Rodney Newton, by doing this to him, convicted, case on appeal, represented by Brian Steele with no L. That's horrible. And this has already been presented to the jury.
Oh, it gets worse, by the way, because I'll jump a little bit ahead and tell you the the actual TV crew, like crime and like those people broadcast, accidentally showed the jury. They actually videoed the jury.
So they fucked up too. Everybody's fucked up in this game.
First day, everyone fucked up.
Everybody, all the way. It started with the gang making a website to text messages to the fucking damn lawyers, and then to law and crime. Everybody fucked up.
I mean, like the TV networks, they fucked up. The prosecutors fucked up. Everyone's fucking up today.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to film the jury.
Yeah,
right? Like they used to back in the day, like with the O.J. Simpson case, Menendez brothers. But now they don't film it because you have to protect them. More so in a gang trial.
Yeah, like you think, like, wait a minute, this is a RICO act. Maybe showing the faces of the jury is not a good idea.
Oh God.
You don't want like a Soprano moment when the guy goes into the candy store and says, "Hey, you better not convict my friend over there, or we're gonna have to deal with you and your children."
Right? Like that's oh God, I can't.
Before the defense even had the opportunity to object to it, violating the court's order in multiple ways by putting Mr. Steele's name in here and by not turning it over to the other side. It's unacceptable, in my opinion. It's unacceptable for prosecutors to do things like this. This is horrible, regardless of what you think about the defendants, regardless of what you think about criminals or crimes or alleged criminal activity or criminal defendants. Can't be just totally disregarding court orders, putting prejudicial and damning things in front of a jury for somebody that's sitting there presumed innocent, because this has nothing to do with him. That's the point. It makes him look bad and more guilty, but doesn't actually prove anything that's in the charging documents.
Yeah, and also you have to realize earlier on, she basically is at the burden for them to prove their innocence. You know what I mean? Like they're shifting the burden. And it's actually the burden for the prosecution to prove their guilt.
She's gonna she's gonna fuck this is the thing. I don't know if the guy's guilty or not. I have no fucking idea. But they're trying to find a killer of a young man right now. So if by a drive-by, that's what I got from all them chirping at each other, right?
No, there's multiple crimes. If the charging documents are conspiracy to violate racketeer influence in corrupt organization act, and it has murder, OCGA, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of firearms during commission of a felony, possession of firearms during commission of a felony, theft of receiving, and it has like different people named.
Yeah.
With each one. So there's about
this is serious, is what I'm saying. This is fucking serious.
So basically, he is being accused of running the organization of all these guys committing crimes, basically, and he's the leader, and that's what the RICO Act allows, basically. And yeah, that's pretty serious. And
it is serious, and this prosecutor's done fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, on slide 11 of 65, that I see where you have that at the bottom, represented by Brian Steele. So we can leave that for the time being. Leave it for the time being because it is what was it was up. I'm going to deny the motion from mistrial, Mr. Steele, but I will go ahead and give a curative instruction to our jurors at this point in time.
The problem is the judge doesn't realize there's more coming. There's more issues. He was ready to get back to opening statement, provided a curative instruction.
Oh, it gets worse. There's
more.
more.
Not the only slide she didn't turn over.
Just wait. There's more. Just think of that Scream movie, like comedy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm supposed to ask for a re-occurrence for my mistrial for the next process goes on. I'd like you to do a courtesy, if you would, and allow me to do that.
On the basis.
Just remember, I know you rule on it, but the state said earlier today that Mr. Williams is contacting through parties that they don't know to pay for other people's lawyers. So I think that couples with that exhibit. And number two, I'd like the court to now order prosecution to give me and anyone else who wants to see it. I need to see respectfully what you ordered last week, all of the displays of the state order that they have not given to us. So
what do you mean by what displays are you talking about, Mr. Steele?
I never saw that. I never saw the wolf. I never saw the order. I gave all my displays. I gave everything. I got from the state.
Are you talking about using for opening statements, sir? Okay.
Should be done.
All right.
He's 100% right. Because, and it's not like I'm going to prepare and respond to everything they say. It's we want to make sure they're not putting something that's inadmissible like this. We want to make sure they're not putting anything that's wrong, which another lawyer stands up and is like, this date's wrong. This fact is wrong. And these are all in their presentation that we don't have an opportunity to read and react to and make our objections and make these arguments before the jury comes back.
All right, Ms. Love.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Honor. Two matters, Your Honor. One, the first thing that Mr. Steele has requested of the court regarding the representation that the state made about other YSL members contacting Jeffrey Williams.
Yeah, it is kind of very shady how to do it. It
is. At least somebody's calling her out on her shit.
Well, I mean, and the thing is like the judge just wants to get this fucking case going, and they've just got to the trial after a year.
It's almost been a year.
Representation is absolutely and has always been a part of what the state expects will show it.
I'm going to deny that portion, but to Mr. Steele's point, I'd already made that issue in terms of his particular involvement, and anything you need to let me know prior to that, and I need to rule upon it, and also subject to foundation, just like this. So I assume that what you told our jurors is what you expect the evidence to show. Yes.
Yes,
All right,
definitely.
so I'm gonna overrule that part of his objection. What about the last thing?
And Your Honor, as to the court's directive that we turn over anything or any
So you ruled against her on that one.
Yeah.
exhibits or photographs, that was my understanding of the court's directive that we expect to show an opening statement. As a matter of course, I can again reiterate the fact that it was an inadvertent omission to leave Mr. Steele at least part of his name
I
on
got
there.
that, but he's talking about, is there anything else you're gonna use in open you haven't shown to defense counsel?
Yeah, is there? It's like, yeah, it was an omission or an accident. You didn't mean to leave his name in, but is there anything else you haven't turned over?
Sharing.
I said, I told you to do that a week ago.
Your Honor,
Because here's what I told you was going to happen. I've got a jury that's out right now that's being interrupted. And Mr. Williams, you should have made your motion or should have told me about that an hour ago or when you found out about it. Not hijack me at the bench about that. You did what you had to do. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about any of this. Because this is stuff we can take care of before our jury comes in. And that makes you all, lessen your ability as advocates and lessen our ability for this jury to go ahead and get this.
It's not good for anybody to have this happen, the judge said. Tell me when you knew about it. Don't wait an hour. I told you to do this 3 weeks ago. Why didn't you do it?
Yeah.
Most of this to me falls on the prosecutor.
Yeah. This is what I told you all was going to happen. So have you given them everything you're going to show them during opening?
By the way, the mic is like horrible, especially for the judge. It's like echoey.
Yeah, they need fucking new mics for judges. It seems like for every goddamn case we ever go on, listen to, the mic for the judges sucks, man. They really
have better microphones than the judges, and that's sad.
I
Where's our
feel
tax dollars going?
Like the judge needs to be given like $100 mic. Like fuck Christ, man. It's like he's the judge. Can we give him $100 mic?
He got his microphone off
feedback, so I apologize for that. But there's nothing really.
He got his mic from Timu. That's where he got his fucking mic from.
Timu, that's right. The new Wish
statement.
Your Honor, I haven't given them all of the word slides. I did give to them what Mr. Williams objected to. I'd given that to them previously. I will give them or share with them the things that have been added as of this evening. And
can you do that over the next 5 minutes?
I sure can.
Can you? Yeah, do it now. Like, why are you waiting?
Are they ready? Are they still using the restroom?
I'll send that to them right now as we're waiting.
And they basically say, Judge, we need more than 10 seconds to look at this. The judge gives them more time to look at it. And then some more arguments are made that I find to be interesting here.
Yeah, I think they break for lunch and then they look at
over the text of her opening argument. But if she's going to show a PowerPoint to the jury, that is what the court instructed us to share. We're visual exhibits, and that's what she's doing. She's placing it up on a screen for the jury to see. And whether that's her own words as part of her opening as a PowerPoint or it's just demonstrative, she could have shared it, and she didn't. And she did it. And she's suggesting now to the court as a work in progress that she hasn't worked on her opening statement until this past weekend. I don't believe that. I think if that's the case, then she's just lying to the court.
Yeah, that seems like a big fucking lie. You got this giant RICO case, and you're like, well, let me just work on my opening statement for this fucking career-creating fucking opening statement over the weekend. Like, no.
She's had time. Like, the prosecution
this has gone on for
all
a
this year.
A year. Like, you're telling me this is a gigantic case. You got a RICO case. You're definitely looking at this shit way beyond before your weekend. What is this fucking school? We're back in high school. Like, you're doing your homework over the weekend or something. Like, what?
I don't get it. This is supposed to be a very big case for any lawyer, any prosecutor right now. You could be taking down a semi-successful, the website, gang, and putting, making, the community safer.
Yeah.
And you're fucking up.
This guy's a defense attorney. Guy with the beard is a defense attorney. Guy in the back that walked up to talk as a defense attorney. Other bald guy in the back. I mean, there's just tons of defense attorneys everywhere.
But if it's not the case, and she didn't mean to mislead the court just now, and she could have and should have shared those PowerPoints. As to the photographs, those also could have been shared with opening. If no one's suggesting they're not admissible at trial. If they're admissible, she can admit them at trial. But to show them to the jury now is part of her opening that violates this court's order that we were supposed to share our exhibits for opening prior to trial, which she did not do. So I think they should be excluded from the opening. And if she wants to introduce them later as evidence during the course of the case, then so be it. But
I think he's 100% right. Yeah. Judge, you told us we got to share everything. She didn't share them. Therefore, we object. Take them out. Nothing's been admitted into evidence yet. If it has, like in a civil case, if you move everything to evidence at the beginning of trial, then these objections don't mean as much. Mm-hmm. Right now, with this many moving parts, this much going on.
So what he's basically explaining is that, like, you can mark things for identification, which you do in depositions, where you put exhibit sticker on there, so it's identified at the time and then basically you bring the identified exhibits, the marked exhibits, in front of a judge, and they rule on if it's admitted as evidence for the trial, and then if they're not admitted. So that's what basically he's saying. He's saying, okay, well, we can admit them later, bring them. She can actually try to, like, we'll make our arguments about them being admitted in trial.
Many defendants, she violated your order, didn't give us information or access to this stuff. Don't let her use them in opening, which I agree with. The judge ends up delaying the case, saying, look at them, we'll make the arguments, you can use them in opening. He ends up allowing it, but it's going to delay the case basically an entire day here.
There's good grounds for this court to, and Your Honor got upset because these issues could have been handled. But they didn't have to wait until now. It was wasting time while the jury's waiting. Your Honor's right. And it's not our fault. It's her fault for not doing what the court instructed. And as a result, the appropriate and reasonable remedy is to prevent her from sharing any of these slides with the jury that she did not share with the defense counsel prior to today.
Objections, folks?
Yes, Your Honor. I went to the state's table. Carson Matthews got to go to the state's table and brought to their attention, and they're at slide 42. I think is correct.
So I want to hear, so now we're going to kind of skip to the judge's thoughts at the end.
So basically, he's saying that there's a part in the slide that is inaccurate, and that it would have been solved if the lady actually sent it to them and they would have done the correction before actually putting it before the jury.
Here's what I told you to give your folks, this is exactly why I told you. I want you to, and let me go ahead and just say, Ms. Love, I told you to give them your PowerPoint presentation. This is why you give it to them, so that they can get errors and they can also figure out there's something to object to. So this is what's caused this delay. Because at this point, like I told you, there's no secrets in the trial of this case. You all have gone through quite a long process.
This is not a trial by ambush, not hide the ball, no secrets in this case. Turn it all over, because you'd rather them object now and we either keep it out rather than you causing a mistrial, which it seems like you've already almost done 2 times in the first 10 minutes of your opening.
Yeah, I think that I think even if this guy gets convicted, I think they're going to have a lot of grounds to appeal thus far. Hi, Okie Crime.
I'm surprised.
Okie Crime News.
Hey, what's up? I'm kind of surprised the judge is like, okay, I'm done. Can a judge do that? Say if the trial?
No, like he could, but the thing is, like he's trying to get this thing going. I mean, like he's trying.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I get that. I understand that. Everybody wants justice, but this is not getting justice when the prosecutor. Do you get what it's? I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair either, and I think it's just, I mean, I already think the case is pretty tough to actually win. Because I feel like whenever this whole RICO thing is just trying to connect, I mean, if this guy was just a regular civilian, you would have a lot easier time. But this is a rapper, and it's like, who's not going to wear like brand names of clothes? Who's not going to do social media like kind of symbols? Who's not going to be like? Who's not going to use song lyrics in rap where it's like, oh, I beat up this person or this person robbed someone? It's like. If this was like Britney Spears, I mean, if this was like Britney Spears singing about beating up people and stuff like that, then I'd be like, I'd raise an eyebrow. But it's like, that's the genre of the rap. I mean, like, it's usually because it has to do with where they grow up,
that's the thing. Rap back in the day when we was young was about the struggle. It was about
when you were young.
When we was young. Well, that's right. You're a 60-year-old man. That's okay.
I'm a 70-year-old man. Don't you know
there
that?
You go. Sorry, 70. I was trying to make. I was flattering. You're 60.
Okay, thank you.
Rap back in the day used to be about a struggle, and it didn't matter what color skin you were. If you lived in the ghetto, you understood the struggle, and I was raised on Tupac, Biggie, Big Pun. May he rest in peace. May they all rest in peace. I wasn't raised on the rap that they do today. It's very. People thought that the NWA and Ice-T was bad, with crazy cop killers and all this other stuff.
Oh.
That was one of the songs, remember? Yeah. And that, and it was about freedom of speech and stuff like that, but it was talking about a struggle. If you watch the lyrics, it's a struggle. But today, rap, it's about how many, okay, I'm going to clean myself up a minute. How much girls you can get, how much money you can get, and who has the biggest diamonds. That's not what rap used to be when I was growing up. I'm sorry. It sucks now.
You officially became an old man. But anyway.
I have.
But this just highlights the concerns the court had in terms of just breaking up the presentation for our jurors. So what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and call our jurors out. I'm going to go ahead and release them for lunch. I'm going to tell them they're going to be at lunch until 1:30. During the lunch hour, Ms. Love, I want you to collate the slides that you have. They otherwise have not been.
I guess it didn't delay it a day, but just a couple hours, whatever it may be. It was a delay, was my point. Unnecessary delay.
Shown, you need to show them to defense counsel and make sure they're correct. In the absence of them being corrected, I'm going to exclude your presentation. But it needs to be correct. I don't want, if I get another objection about an error, I'm going to exclude it for purposes of the opening statement because you didn't follow my instructions. This is why I told everyone. They need to get, and the defense need to give.
He is so pissed.
And the things they wish to use
I
during,
would be
during
too.
their openings as well, because we're having interruptions and delay, and that's what I wanted to avoid for our jurors. That was the reason I told you all to do that.
So major problems during opening statements.
And then they also, like, later on they go into that. So the next part, let me just read. Let me just go to. Let me just. I just want to.
They all conspire.
Let me see. I just want to give me a moment.
Yeah.
You two are so funny. Thank you, Blumpy.
Thank you.
So let's go to the article, and we'll read through it a little bit. Let me give it there. All right. So that we're going to read. We already read the beginning of this, kind of. So we're going to go to the current status of the trial. So it says the trial finally began on November 27th, which we already went through. We've seen the opening statements, with the opening arguments from the prosecution after nearly 2 years of administrative delays and courtroom dramas. One such headache was jury selection. The court has largely spent its time addressing the hardship excuses of the more than 2,000 potential jurors. 2,000. Some of whom said that they couldn't serve because the lengthy trial expected dip into next year. So, I mean, like, most people cannot be on a jury for a year.
You mean like waiting?
No, I mean, like, you know, being on a jury, like, every day, hearing a case every day.
Yeah.
Because you get, like, paid nothing. Like, how much do you get paid for being on a jury?
I think you get paid like 20% of what you're. It's something shitty. My dad had to do it.
Well, I mean, that's depending on, like, if you're a job, you get paid like you're supposed to get paid. But like if you're if let's say you're like freelance or some shit like that, you get like $40 a day.
RICO is federal, right? I think RICO is. Wait, is RICO the plea federal?
Yeah, it's federal. I mean,
it's
like
federal.
Let me see. Actually,
we'll double check.
Let me travel check because I don't want to just. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's a state, yeah. So I think it's the state versus them. So $20 a day. My friend just had to do it. Now imagine making only $20 a day for a year. Let's just say no one's. I would be like, no way I could do that. I'd be bankrupt. I mean, I wouldn't be bankrupt. I'd be like dipping into my like reserves a little bit. But
it was horrible. It was horrible when my dad did it because he wasn't working and it wasn't giving him shit. And and by law he had to be there.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can say no.
Yeah. So some of whom said they couldn't serve because of the lengthy trial, expected to dip into a year. Would negatively impact their jobs and families per the Atlantic Journal Constitution. The court finished reviewing hardships in July, and jury was selected by November 1st. Meanwhile, young Thug was denied bond for the third time on July 21st, likely leaving him behind bars through the end of the trial unless the judge reconsiders his decision. Yank Gotti's pretrial release was reconsidered that the same day. However, he was denied bond as well. In April, attorneys for the rappers filed a new motion to get them out of jail on bond, citing grueling conditions. What did we learn from the opening statements? So, in the trial's second day, we have heard a rebuttal from Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, which was that gentleman that came up with the white gentleman with the gray hair, skinny gentleman. That was Gray Steele, who argued the prosecution grossly mischaracterized his client and denied the allegations that the rapper's persona and lyrics pointed to a gang conspiracy. Instead, Steele claimed Young Thug was I'm sorry, I lost my place. No,
you're good.
Allegations the rapper's persona and lyrics pointed to a gang conspiracy. Instead, Steele claimed Young Thug was mobbing for God. While the word thug tends to describe a person involved in violent activity, Steve said Jeffrey Williams' stage name comes from the acronym that foregrounds his religious convictions. Quote, truly humbled under God, end quote. So he's mobbing for God. He's the mobster of God. Steele told the jury, quote,
I know
that's what
he's doing.
That's what the thug means, YSL. Thug's alleged gang described by the prosecution as Young Slime Life really stands for a luxury clothing brand because the tight-fitting pants they're wearing say YSL, Steele argued. Okay, the popular... is there an actual Young Slime brand pants?
They have a website, so I'm just gonna say that they probably fuck. Who trademarks a fucking gang? I'm telling you this right now. Tupac is spinning in his fucking grave.
Copyright, like next to get Bloods are gonna copyright fucking Bloods.
Right. If anybody, yeah, that's like saying 50 Cent was, trademarked Crips. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it looks like they do sell merchandise actually in shirts.
I mean, I guess they could. I mean, it's an abbreviation. Can you sue somebody on an abbreviation?
Can YSL sue YS/? I don't know what the hell that is.
Is there another YSL out there that I don't?
Are they part of the criminal conspiracy too?
I don't know anything, but I swear to God, I don't like youngins anymore. I don't like these young kids who are making websites for their gangs and trademarks and all this.
Okay,
shit.
so Yves St. Lawrence. So it stands for Yin St. Lawrence Pants and not Young Slime Life, he's basically saying. And basically it's like these ugly, over expensive pants.
Yeah.
Like, let me just share, like, yeah, it's like really ugly pants. Like that, like
you're gonna show the pants, and they're probably gonna look like the pants I wear, and I'm gonna be very.
No,
insulted.
you are not gonna afford these pants, man. I'm telling you,
I need to see them now so I can. Again, my favorite pair of jeans are my G Unit ones.
Here's the pants. Like, this is the brand.
Oh no! See my G. Go back one. My G Unit pants look like that, but it's a G Unit.
Like, who would pay $116 for these?
I don't fucking agree with what these kids wear these days. Men wearing tight pants. No.
I need loose pants, man. I need room.
Yeah, like, don't wear. What is let your bits breathe.
And look at this, $5,000, $3,000. We wouldn't be able to fucking afford this shit.
Oh, it is. Oh, White Boy Move says that YSL is a clothing brand.
So basically, the whole prosecution of the case
oh, good
is based on YSL as a gang, but it's actually a brand of clothing that they're all wearing. That is just like these lame ass pants.
Look at that one right there. What is that? The Saint Laurent? What?
It's for women, though. I mean,
okay. Well, you never. That's the thing. You never fucking know.
So, like, the whole prosecution is based on group chat pants that they could argue that these are pants and a rapper's lyrics.
I'm done with this. I'm checking out now. This is me checking out because I'm just because.
Yo, that's crazy. This is why I'm like, I was so interested in this case. I was like, man, we need just to talk about this one because this is so crazy shit.
Like I know you were never like into rap and like the culture or anything like that. You had priorities. You got an education.
That's the next lawsuit we're gonna see. White Boy Moves. The YSL is gonna sue the other YSL.
Yeah, and we'll probably do a show about it too. But
what are you reading? You there? Tony, are you there? Not sure what happened. Tony, are you there? I think Tony checked out. I'm not sure. I can't hear you, Tony. G Unit got Tony. Yeah, the YSL got Tony.
Okay, I'm back. Did I?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
I think, and I just paid that goddamn fucking bill too. God damn it, Comcast, motherfucker. But no, back in the day, we knew who were in gangs. We knew because we ain't stupid. We know the colors. And growing up, we knew the colors.
Wait a minute. So maybe you know the colors here. They wear tight, like Lawrence pants. Young, like they wear St. Lawrence pants, like the tight-fitting ones. They have poodle purses, and they wear Gucci glasses. Now that's the new gangs we got to watch out for.
No, see, back in the day, yellow bandana, Latin Kings, red bandana, Bloods, blue, Crips. If you saw a black one, a fallen soldier. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a code.
They don't wear $3,000 pants like skinny jeans.
No.
Okay.
No, like
that gang is not that tough, I have to say. But anyway, in the trial's second day, we heard rebuttal from Young Thug's attorney, Brian Seal, who argued the prosecution's grossly made crimes. Okay, so we already read that. The popular Young Thug Gunna song, Push P, doesn't refer to distributing substances as one might imagine. Quote, it means a circumstance you're in. If you think you're positively about something, you can make it work. You're pushing positivity. You're pushing P. What is pushing? Do you know what pushing P is?
You couldn't hear me. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm still logged into everything else, but you went quiet. I don't know, and I just paid the bill.
Okay.
I just paid the bill.
It might be that your signal that's probably going in and out.
I'm hardwired.
You're hardwired. Don't worry. That's fine. But do you know what pushing P is?
Huh?
Pushing P.
Pimpin'.
Well, he's saying it's pushing positivity.
The popular Young Thug and Gunna song "Pushin' P" doesn't refer to distributing substances as it might imagine. It means circumstances in what? What is he trying to be like Dax?
No, he's
like,
trying to. He's trying. This lawyer is saying like it's pushing positivity, man. It's not pushing drugs.
Yeah. What he's doing is acting like. Anybody, white boy, you know who Dax is, right?
Yeah.
He's acting like Dax, and Dax is a rapper who's actually good, who's not in gangs, who is helping his community, who sings about he raps about not only God but the struggle. On top of it, like he's really good, and now I feel like he's trying to act like Dax. Like, yeah, see, white boy got it. I can't hear you now. Did I lose
No,
it?
I'm just like reading. Oh, okay. Yeah. Who is involved? The grand jury indictment identifies Young Thug Gunna and 26 other associates as members of the criminal street gang YSL Young Slime Life.
Oh
Thug.
God, worst
the heartbeat
gang name ever.
It kind of reminds you of a video game, like the slimes from the video games.
Do you remember that show back in the day? It's on
Nickelodeon.
That's all I can think
about.
Slimes, Nickelodeon
This is what happens to all the fucking contestants on that Nickelodeon slime show. They all became gang members.
Oh God! Now they're all going to jail instead of getting slimed.
Yeah. Thug, the heartbeat of Atlanta fertile rap scene, is allegedly the founder of the street gang, which formed in the city in 2012. The prosecution claims that YSL has an affiliation with the National Blood Gang, and some association claims the Blood subset gangs Sex Money Murder or 30 Deep. I've never heard of that before, but surprise, surprise.
It's these fucking kids these days.
The rapper-founded record label Young Stoner Life in 2016 as an imprint of 300 Entertainment. YSL Records calls its roster of artists the Slime Family, which we saw earlier. Gunna was named in the indictment along with the rapper Little Duke, Yank Gotti, Thug's brother, Yoon Funke. Okay.
I have no comment.
Fannie Willis is. I don't even know how you came up with that name, to be honest.
I don't know how any of them, these rapper names these days, I'm kind of like.
Gotti, I could get because that's like kind of a gangster name for
like Gotti, like Gotti or like Little
Duke, maybe, but like Funke, like did he just go like?
Is that like a Yakuza thing?
It sounded like he was going to the Chinese restaurant and getting like a fucking number 6 on the menu.
That's what it sounds like. That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's a Yakuza thing that we don't know about.
I don't know. Fannie Willis is the district attorney overseeing the case. She is a Democrat known for investigating whether the former President Trump and his team engaged in election fraud in Georgia. Quote, it does not matter what your notoriety is or what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, then you are going to become target and focus of the district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Wills said in the press conference in May 2022, she said that there's a reason to believe that gang, quote, are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all violent crimes that we're seeing within our community, so they have to be booted. Brian Steele, Young Thug's lawyer, told the New York Times that YSL is not a criminal street gang. Quote, Mr. Williams came from an incredible, horrible upbringing, and he has conducted himself throughout his life in a way that is just marvels at. End quote. Steele said, he's committed no crime whatsoever. I'm going to doubt that, but whatever. I mean, I'm sure he's committed something. I just think, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to connect him to a RICO act. Gunna's guilty plea for his part serves as public acknowledgement of his association with YSL. The rapper said in his statement through his emphasized that his association is purely musical. He staunchly maintains his innocence despite entering a plea deal, which I think is the Adams plea, I think. Mm-hmm. While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, and I have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and I have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. Gunna told WSB and other outlets in a statement. 7 other defendants walked free last December, each pleaded guilty to racketeering charge, and said YSL was both a music collective, criminal street gang per the conditions of the plea deals. YSL co-defendant Walter Murphy entered a plea deal on a single count of conspiracy to violate the state's racketeer-influenced a corrupt organization, RICO, Act, and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He negotiated 1 year of his sentence commuted to time served, 9 years probation. Per the deal, Funke, Little Duke, Slime Life, Shoddy, Antonio Sludge, Trunta Vias, or quote Tick, Stevens, Antonio quote Obama, Sumlin took similar deals with some. I feel like I'm gonna have a stroke reading these names.
It's weird. The whole entire thing's fucking weird.
With some of them pleading guilty to additional charges. Sludge and Stevens, for their part, must testify truthfully if called to trial. D. Runti Bebe and Tenquarius, I hope I'm butchering these names, Mender were originally offered plea deals but rejected them. However, Bebe accepted a plea deal in November 2023. I'm gonna date myself a little bit. Remember the cartoon Bebe's Kids?
Oh, Bebe's Kids.
I just thought of that. Bebe's Kids, like they're grown up and they're joined up YSL now.
They should fucking do it with them growing up.
We don't die, we multiply. That's what they said all the time.
That cartoon was so fucking that was a good one.
If you don't know, it was like a cartoon with like these African American children. They were like kind of like tough kids, and they were like there was this one baby, and it was like really tough. It was kind of.
You're gonna have to find a clip.
I mean, like, one moment. I'm gonna show you a clip of Bebe's Kids.
It was so popular back in the day for Super Nintendo when Super Nintendo was the thing. They even made a video game, Bebe's Kids.
Yeah. Let me just show like
we're showing our age now.
I mean the kids. Oh, I see. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'll share that one. Like this is it. You got it shared?
Oh wait, doing it now. There we go. Okay. You're good.
And they like did the song, and like they would have these kids.
It was really funny. They had really good actors in it too. They had comedians.
This was like the baby. This is the father, like kind of the guy watching them. It's an old show.
Yeah, the babysitter.
Yeah, the babysitter. Let me share my screen. So that's what I was thinking about with the whole baby's kids. I'm sorry. I'm
gonna watch that movie tonight.
Yeah, it's oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. Oh my god, they totally branded themselves based on Nickelodeon with these names. Yeah, it's pretty weird. You got Baby. Baby accepted a plea deal in November 2023 and was sentenced to 15 years, 5 years in prison, 10 years on probation. Unfuk K, despite originally taking a plea deal in December, was arrested again in May 2023 when police found a gun in his car and was sentenced to more than 9 years in prison for violating his probation. Sucks to be you, Unfuk K.
I wonder if his name is Unfuck.
Unfuck?
And they just spelt it like that.
Or that could be just
Unfunk.
Unfunk?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's fucking weird.
I have no
A
idea.
prosecutor asked Slime Life Shandy, whose government name is Woony Lee, if YSL members could have committed at least one of the following acts in the name of YSL: murder, aggravated assault, robbery, theft, or illegal firearm possession, to which he replied, yes, ma'am. What are the charges? All 28 individuals named in the indictment were charged with conspiracy to violate the State Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organization Act, or RICO, by participating in a pattern of illegal activity to obtain money and property. The Georgia law closely resembles its federal counterpart, so this is a state law, and so this answers your earlier question, resembles the federal counterpart and was created with the aim of ensuring large criminal organizations like the Mafia, according to the Times. This is not the first time Willis has sought RICO charges. In 2014, the attorney argued that Atlanta public school teachers accused of cheating on standardized tests were part of a racketeering conspiracy.
Oh, shit's getting deep.
In her investigation into Trump, she insinuated that the former president and his associates may have violated the state RICO law in an alleged attempt to commit election fraud in 20. She seems to like to just throw everyone to fucking whoever.
Right.
I feel like we might be connected to the RICO law. She could probably look into us.
I swear to God, it's like Blowhorn Betty's lawyer or something. I don't know.
Like,
It's
it
just
really
weird.
is kind of weird. Look into them. They have their own alphabet. They swap out like the Zodiac. Oh,
Is
shit.
that really?
Wow. Okay.
Of course, the Zodiac.
The prosecutor alleges that the collective engaged in a wide range of criminal activity, and the 56-count indictment claims that YSL members were involved in murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, theft, drug stealing, carjacking, witness intimidation. Notably, the indictment portrays Thug as something of a mob boss. He alleges to have committed multiple crimes that he is not being charged with. While Thug is not being charged for these overt acts, which include possession of methamphetamines with the intent to distribute and threaten to kill a man at a mall, they led to credence to the allegations that the collective was engaged in criminal conspiracy, and other serious allegations included that Doug rented a car that was used in the commission of a murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., a rival gang leader, in January 2015, and 5 YSL members, including Yan Gotti, were charged with murder in connection with Thomas's death. In addition, 3 YSL members were charged with attempted murder in connection with an attack on a rapper YFN Lucy, who was stabbed in jail in February 2022. In April 2021, Fulton County charged YFN Lucy and 11 other suspects in 70-page, 105-count racketeering indictment, according to WSB TV. Lucy is currently in jail awaiting trial. Thug was later charged with 7 additional felonies after a reported police raid of Buckhead home following his May 9th, 2022 arrest. The new charge includes possession of drugs with the intent to distribute, possession of firearms, and 3 counts of being a person employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct and participate in criminal gang activity through the commission of a crime, per document reviewed by Vulture. Gunna is charged with 1 count of racketeering according to the indictment, and he allegedly received stolen property and was in possession of drugs, including methamphetamine and marijuana and hydrocodone, with the intent to distribute. He was arrested on May 11th. The judge cited May 11th, 2022. The judge cited concern about witness intimidation and potential for additional criminal activity to deny both Thug Gunna's multiple bond requests. So, I mean, So far, it sounds to me, based upon like the stuff like I'm hearing, is like their whole crux is they're going to try to connect all these people into an organization that this guy is running. Did anyone here also watch the Art murder case? The at murder case. What's at murder case? I'm sorry.
I've just heard of that.
I don't know what the at murder case is. ATT murder case. I don't know what that is. The judge cited concerns about witness intimidation and the potential for additional criminal. Okay, we read that part. The New York Times reported that Judge Uriel Glansville. Okay, so we read that the bail deniement and all that stuff. Okay, let's jump to this part. District Attorney Willis filed a motion on August 15th asking the judge to order defense. Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. White boy, spell it backwards. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to say it because he doesn't want to get dinged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to spell it. Okay. I just don't know what the ATT. Just tell us what the ATT is. I know what murder case is. District Attorney Willis filed a motion on August 15 asking the judge to order defense attorneys to avoid sharing discovery materials, including the names of all lay witnesses cooperating at YSL associates that will be called to testify in the case with anyone outside of their legal team. And since the date of those filings, however, information from the state discovery materials has appeared on public websites. Willis wrote in her motion, as a result, the state now has a grave concern about the safety of that named witnesses. Yeah, that's pretty big fucking fumble. Once again, denied bond, obviously. Kristen Nave, an attorney of Gunner, asked prosecutors to share evidence that the witness were being threatened. We want to know what specific threats they are. They are, in a way, said there have been many allegations that there are threats to witnesses, and to date, we have received no discovery, not a single shred of evidence from a witness who was actually threatened. Okay. Gunner once and thought to remain in jail until the trial next year was released on December 14, 2022, after pleading guilty per the terms of Alford plea deal. We've heard that. What Lil Wayne have to do with this case? Lil Wayne has to do something with this case now?
I mean, it's Lil Wayne. That's all I have to say.
Pee Wee Rasco, real name Jerry Colton, Winfrey.
Attempted charge against 3 others is what he said. Sorry. He said you read it out in the article.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Pee Wee Rasco, real name Jimmy Colton Winfrey, was charged with aggravated assault in connection with the shooting involving Lil Wayne's tour bus in 2015. In the original indictment, Young Thug and Birdman were listed as co-conspirators, but they were never charged. The YSL indictment names Rasco, who was previously sentenced to 10 years in prison for the shooting indictment and was released in 2020. Hi, Zen. What's up? Stopping to say hello. Happy. How you doing, Zen? How you doing? Rap lyrics are being used as evidence against those charged in YSL case, though experts have argued that it can be violation of free speech. The use of rap lyrics to incriminate hip-hop artists isn't new. Bozy, Bobby, Shmuda, Draccio, The Ruler, and 6ix9I.
That's 69 that we were talking about. That's
69. Okay, thank you for being the person that actually knows how to read these names. And I mean, just fucking sounded like the most fucking white bread person in the world, fucking spelling out these number.
Yeah,
like,
his name is Takaki 69.
Tell me you don't listen to rap.
I don't listen to. I know
you listen to it, but I'm like saying about myself. Like,
you have no idea. This is
like
territory.
I feel like I'm reading an alien language here. I'm about to be like, this is getting really bad here. Maybe whenever we get to a rap name, you need to point to you to read them.
Right.
Holy fuck. Lyrics have all been deployed and caught as evidence against them, Bosie and Dracchio the ruler. Is that Dracchio the ruler? Okay, were acquitted, and through the others were not. In January 2021, Maryland ruled that the rap lyrics could constitute evidence of guilt. Earlier this year, however, Jay-Z and the other prominent artists took stand by publicly supporting Senate Bill S7527 and proposed New York law known as Rap Music on Trial. The bill would limit the use of lyrics in criminal trials. Prosecutors in YSL case have cited multiple songs as evidence of the gang affiliation racketeering activities. And a lot of the music industry is completely against it. They believe it's an attack on freedom of speech.
Oh, it is. It is, because if you want to go down this road, okay, just say the government wants to go down this road. Okay, then no more Grand Theft Auto. Okay, no more Sopranos spinoffs or whatever. No more, Breaking Bad wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope. I mean, music can be fantasy as well.
And here's the actual 88-page grand jury indictment. Is it 88 page? I think it's 88 pages. Yeah, it's 88 pages. And it's pretty interesting to get like a glance. Their evidence is pretty interesting, like literally social media posts and stuff like that. I mean, probably that's what, it gets a little weird. I mean,
Rap game beats it. Right? Tim doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Rap game beats him. I have no rap game. I don't know. We need to get that British guy from Queen Bee to jump in. He'll help me out.
Oh, I haven't met him yet. Nice guy.
Yeah, he's from the UK and he started rapping on Queen Bee's 14K celebration.
Oh, congratulations to Queen Bee as well.
The distributor behind Young Stoner Life Records has lent their support to Gunner and Thug in the Murder Ways following Thug's bail hearing. The original co-founder. Okay, so they basically support him. Okay. Did Gunner confess? Gunner did not confess his alleged crimes. He entered an Alfred plea. We know that. We talked about that earlier. Was Fannie Willis a lawyer for YSO Mondo? Who the fuck is that?
I don't know who that is. I don't even know who Fannie is.
Yeah, this is some weird shit. What else is there to know about the trial? The jury has finally been selected. We know that already. There's a motion filed. Thug's lawyer. We know that. Let me see. What's clear is Fulton County continues to conflate gang activity with rap music and has not signaled a change in policy. Let me read that. Actually, this might be interesting. So in the emergency motion filed in May 2022, Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, blasted his inhumane jail conditions and filed a request for bond, which has since been denied. In the filing, he wrote that Thug has been detained in what amounts to solitary confinement, total isolation, in a windowless cement compartment with only a bed and toilet and overhead light, which means on 24 hours per day, preventing any sleep, rest, or meditation.
Welcome to fucking prison, dude.
Yeah.
Like jail. What were you expecting? The Hilton?
Yeah. Well, it says what clear is Fulton County continues to conflate gang activity with rap music and has not signaled a change in policy. The optics look like gang stuff. Lance Williams, a professor at Northeastern Illinois University, told the New Yorker. It looks ugly, but the reality is that most of it is just music. If there's violence, it's interpersonal, not organized. He was troubled by the use of the RICO law, which, in his words, is a thing created for the mafia now being used to indict young black males who are flirting with the culture and music, but who are not involved with criminal enterprises.
It could be that. That's the thing. It could be that, and I can see that happening.
Let me stop sharing. I'll just show you I'll show you another talk. I'm going to share my screen again.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm just trying to look for. Okay, here. So one of the evidence, there's multiple, they use social media. I'm sharing my screen again. This is the 88-page indictment. So it says defendant Martin Arnold Demkeon Garlington D Monte Kendrick. Oh my God, Kendrick. It's like, how do you say that? Kendrick. Yeah, but there's a C at that.
Kendrick.
Okay, you fucking see. This is why we have Tony. I might be a little smart, but he completes me. There's some with the names. He fixes it up. Believe me. That helps me out a lot. You know what? You're gonna read the fucking names. Read the next names.
Okay. Shannon Stillwell and Jeffrey Williams.
Okay.
You could have read those.
I could have read those, but I just want to force you to fucking join in. Son of a bitch, making me look stupider and stupider every second.
You got this. You're good. You smile.
Associates of the YSL did pose for a photo released on social media flashing a YSL gang hang sign in an overt act of furtherance of the conspiracy.
I want to see it. I
This
want to
is
see
the
what
this
the
is the
so-called
photo.
sign.
It's
Yeah,
in
but
black and white.
Yeah, you can't see what the gang sign is. Though.
Well,
That's
he
the
looks like
thing.
he's doing like a hand signal. His back is turned. He's got shirts on, and it says liked by 150 other people. These are New Orleans streets. This is like in New Orleans.
I don't understand it. It's not cool to be in a gang. It's not cool to be doing all this shit. It's not.
Yeah, so it's like basically okay. Here's another one. It says defendant Jeffrey Williams, an associate of YSL.
See, I can't see
YSL did
that.
pose for a photo released in social media wearing red clothing and flashing a YSL gang hang sign in an overt act to further the conspiracy. So he's got like, he's doing a hand signal. Why don't they put this in color?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, white boy. It is difficult. It is difficult because on one side you're like they're too stupid to actually be an organized crime if they're making websites and all this other stuff. But yeah, like in merchandise and stuff. Like gangs don't do that. Gangs are very quiet, and you won't know somebody's in a gang not unless there's an activity going on.
So defendant you read this name. Read it.
Where are you now? Defendant Martins Arnold.
No. Here. Where my mouse is.
Demonic? Oh wait. Damicon.
Damicon, what's this word?
Galacton.
Garlington.
Yeah,
an associate of what? Not so smart now. An associate of YSL.
Now I want garlic bread for some reason. I don't know why.
An associate of YSL did pose for a photo released on social media holding what appears to be an AK-47 variant firearm with a red bandana tied around his face in an overt act to further the conspiracy. It could be that he's just doing that to basically look cool in front of the camera.
Well, go back down to what the supposed gang sign is, because to me that didn't look. It looked like he was doing.
Okay, this one is defendant Walty Murphy as an associate of YSL did pose for a photo release on social media with the letter YSL tattooed on his forehead and an overt act to further.
Okay, that's stupid too. You don't get a tattoo of the gang that you're in.
Okay, so the identifiers. They say the identifiers, and I think like literally they had a gang person there's some. I'll talk about them. Identifiers. YSL associates use variety of identifiers, including colors, clothing, tattoos, and hand signs, as well as verbal written identifiers. YSL claims affiliation with the National Blood Gang, and some other associations also claim the Blood Up subset, Gang, Sex, Money, Murder, or 30D. YSL associates often display their colors by wearing green or red bandanas on their person in a practice known as flagging. YSL associates often wear clothing with the letter YSL or the word slime printed on them. YSL associates often wear pendants displaying the letters YSL or the word slat. The most predominant YSL color are red for Bloods and green for slime. Okay. YSL associates use varied hand signs. One of the most common hand signs, wiping the nose with the index finger. Another frequently used YSL hand sign consists of curling the ring and pinky finger in inward towards the palm. Isn't that the OK signal?
No, that's the blood signal.
Okay. I thought that was the Donald Trump OK signal.
No, that's the B for bloods.
Okay. YSL associates use various inwards and palm while extending the index and thumb with the middle finger slightly curved. The extended middle index finger represents the Y, and the curved middle finger and curved ring finger represents the S. The extended index finger and thumb represent the L. YSL associates will also make two guns hand signs by forming pistols with their fingers, pointing them in the opposite direction. YSL associates use yeah.
No, sorry. The finger thing, the finger gun thing, that's been around since fucking TikTok got big.
Yeah. YSL associates use variety of other identifiers. Often YSL associates will write or say the word blacked, which means blood, love all the time. Or it could be just a word they say, like blah, 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 like, shooting.
Yeah, these kids say weird shit these days.
YSL associates also use the word slat, which means slime love all the time. Often associates would simply refer to each other blood or slime, and they refer to Cleveland Avenue as Bleveland, replacing the C with B, and green heart, green snake, blowing nose, and green vomit emojis are also symbols commonly used by the members. So green heart, green snake, blowing nose, and green vomit.
This is intriguing for a gang.
This is some odd gang we have here. They wear like fucking tight pants. They have websites and they are in social media and they have this. Okay.
It's so fucking weird.
This is some weird ass gang, man. Like,
no wonder Lil Wayne doesn't like them.
Okay, this one is defendant Daniel King, Garland, and associate. So they can fuck with us if they want. We're gonna bring them homicide. And an overt act of okay. So he basically made like a post that looks, is that a gun? That's an AK-47 or something looks like it. And two gentlemen, one's with a gun, a handgun, pointing at the camera, and it looks like he has a mask. And this guy has an AK-47, and they basically wrote that down. I mean, there's a lot of other charges. I just want to really focus on the social media like posts. This one says, defendant Javon Fleetwood, an associate YSL, did pose for a photo release on social media showing a YSL tattoo on his right side of his face.
Why would you even go that far?
Now, that kind of goes against the whole, well, this is just for the brand for clothing.
Yeah, like, well,
that's like posting like Nike on your face.
Well, that's the thing. It's not unusual. Do you know how many mumble rappers like them that have the Chanel symbol on it? Like the C with the C. So it's not unusual for them to get tattoos of branding like Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne has a Louis Vuitton symbol on him.
White Boy Moon says it's difficult because it's easy to see both sides, right? Very delicate. Yeah. And then Wing Zero says, is there a mask that's slimmer? Maybe.
They probably do.
There should be a mask. Okay, so this is another defendant. Did pose for a photo release on social media. Rayshawn Brenner, aka YFN Lucy. Rayshawn Brenner. Okay, so he's on top of a car. And he says, being the leader of a rival street gang, an overt act to further the conspiracy. Okay. This one says defendant Jimmy Winfrey, an associate YSL, did pose for a photo release on social media with a caption, I was locked up, not fucked up. Death before dishonor. Hashtag free at last. Hashtag bankroll mafia. Hashtag slap business, or I guess the acronym they said before. An overt act of the street. Okay. This one says defendant Martina, or okay, let's see. Associated YSL appeared in the video released on social media titled Ski with the lyric stating, quote, I fuck with slots, we come to eat rats, and I came with some fucking piranhas.
Wait, who made this song? It was him?
Defendant Martinez, Arnold, Sergio Kitchens, and Jeffrey Williams, associate of YSL, appears in a video released on social media titled Ski with the lyrics stating, I fuck with slats and we come to eat rats and I came with some fucking piranhas. Quote, I tote an FN on me called Nucci Nooch. It's a Glock we keep. Quote, Duke rolling 60s, he locked in C's and adverts act of, what the fuck?
Oh my god, I'm watching the music video now. Yeah, Young Thug and Gunna.
Yeah, I think so too, White Boy, but this is some crazy. I feel like, oh my god. What's this one say? Defendant Demonte Kendrick and Winnie Lee, the associates of YSL, did pose in a photo released on social media, which Kendrick flashing YSL gang hand signs while Lee is wearing a clothing with the letter, quote, "Keep America Slime" or SLAP and "Make America Slime," and an effort. Oh my God.
Oh, this is I don't know, all his thumbnails for this year, it looks like it's him in a courtroom.
Yeah.
And have you looked at his YouTube?
Oh, the guy?
Yeah, Young Thug.
You want to share your? Just toss me the Toss me that.
Yeah, I'll toss you the page. Hold on.
I mean, it looks like this is an interesting case, but I think the prosecution is going to have a little bit of a hard time because, like, some of these signs are not quite gang signs.
And if they are gang signs, it's not his gang.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it's kind of weird. I mean, Young Thug's YouTube channel. Okay.
He doesn't sound like Lil Wayne, and maybe that's where the beef is. But he doesn't sound exactly like Lil Wayne, but he has Lil Wayne's style with how he tones himself.
Yeah. Let's see his community post 1 month ago. Not sure what this is.
Was that really his post? Not sure what this is.
I'm saying, like, why is this scorpion on his lady's face?
Oh, let me see. Let me look at his community post.
No, I just have it on share screen.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I don't know. It's artistic. I don't know. This is why I stay in my house. Yeah, that's all his thumbnails. Is that?
Is this kid part of the conspiracy crazy serial trick shorts? We might need to investigate this white kid over here. He might be part of what?
Go to the last post he did and look at his comments. I'm very curious.
Okay, let me just
pause it because we don't want to hear that garbage.
Okay, let's see what the newest one is. Thugger is getting free top of the game again. Free Thug till backwards. This is my number track from now on. Daddy.
Oh.
One of the hardest jams from Thug.
Seek help.
Dope. We making it out Soul Society with this one.
What's the top comment? I'm dying to know.
What is the top comment? All right.
I know we're kind of.
I hope one day we all can say that Thugger is free and bless us with new music.
He made the first 3 top comments, by the way.
Yeah. This man will be remembered for generations, still dropping bars behind bars. Actually, that kind of rhymes, actually.
Yeah, it's not original. Tupac has said that.
Oh, this is how much rap I know, because I don't have no clue about that.
It's just so cringe. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
Because the rappers, this is the thing, the rappers in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, they preached in their songs. So today, their community, the young boys of color, do not go into gangs. They wanted better for their community.
Yeah.
And it sucks because they're all young and you don't need to be in a gang.
Yeah, we're getting close. We might as well. There's probably more to this case because I'm probably going to follow other things in this case. But what's your thoughts so far? Are you convinced so far that this is some sort of gang, like an idiot gang of morons that proceeded to basically post all their criminal activities and songs and social media? Or do you think this is an overreach by this ambitious prosecutor that just wants to go after this guy?
Okay, first off, white boy, yes, very fucking cringe. But my opinion on what you just asked me is I think it's a little both. Because we saw the lawyer reaching, we saw the lawyer overdoing it, we saw the lawyer fuck up the prosecution. I mean, we saw that fuck up, okay? So she's reaching a bit, she is. But I also think that these young men and women, because women, I think that they are just being so stupid right now. And this is the thing. I can sit back here and go, I don't know if it's a gang or not. I hope it's not a gang, but we'll never know the truth until, sadly, something very devastating happens again. And that sucks. So I'm in the middle of it. I think the prosecutor's reaching, and I think that these kids are being stupid. I think it's very stupid.
No, but my thing is like, my thought process is that I feel like the connection to all these people, to connect him to like the murder, to drive-by murder, to all these crimes, I feel like that is a little bit, they're going to have to prove that there's connections besides just a bunch of guys getting sweetheart deals and basically snitching on this guy. Just because he rents a car that's using a drive-by doesn't necessarily mean that he had anything to do with that. Just because he gave money to a guy, or just because he made those texts, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's circumstantial evidence for a lot of the crimes, but it seems as though they're using the RICO Act to kind of get him when they can't get him for the actual crimes that they believe he's connected to.
It's definitely a backup plan.
And that's my feelings on it. And this is just a layman's interpretation. I am not a lawyer, but just me looking at these videos and reading this article, I have that feeling, and that's just my thing. I feel like this, and I'm not saying this guy's guilty. He's innocent right now, but I don't know if he's guilty or innocent. But just by looking at it so far, and I'm probably gonna have to look more into it. I just think that's just my thoughts on the thing. You know,
it's the plea deals that catch them. Reason for fear of witness intimidation. Well, yeah, especially if you think about it, what boy, if you think about it, what the Law and Crime, is it Law and Crime?
Law and Crime Network.
They fucked up and they showed the juror. And
well, they didn't really film the thing, but someone like the video, like the TV crew actually filmed it, so you can't really blame them entirely.
No, but the thing is though, was it live or was it something that they were?
It was. I think they were like. I think they were able to restream from live broadcasting. Like there's 2 channels that can actually like film inside, and they're allowed to film inside. So
yeah, but the damage is already done.
Yeah.
And when a person's desperate, you don't know what you got to think about people's safety.
Yeah.
Period. I don't know. Everybody's fucking up.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, we are done. But we thank you all for joining us, and we'll be back next week at some point.
Yeah. You guys have a good one. Bye, guys.
You guys have a good weekend and keep safe, and thank you again for joining.